Hi, my name is Lawrence, and today I'll be going over how to write the standard equation of a circle. Down below, we have a circle whose center is at the origin, also known as 0, 0. And the problem gives us that the radius is 7. So how do we write the standard equation with these two factors? Well, here is the standard equation. How does it correspond to these two factors? H is the x-coordinate of the center, K is the y-coordinate of the center, and R is the radius. I'll explain later why this works. All we need to do now is to plug it in. And if we simplify that, that becomes x squared plus y squared equals 7 squared. Now, usually, geometry books won't make this problem so simple. A lot of times, they will have two endpoints of diameter, and you will be tasked to find the center and the radius, and after that, you will find the equation of the circle. Let's do this example. So if we have here, we have negative 7, 0, and 7, 0. Now, if they're on the same x-axis, then all we need to do is find the midpoint. Negative 7 and 7, the midpoint is obviously 0. And just like that, we have found the midpoint of the 2 points, which is also the center. Now, if we want to find the radius, all we have to do is find the distance between the center and one of the points on the circumference. And in this case, 0, 0, and 7, 0, the distance is obviously 7. And if we plug those points and information into our equation, we'll get the same result. Now, another way that geometry books will form this question is by giving you the center of the circle and a point on the circle, which is a little bit more difficult, but I'll explain how to do it. Now, if you see here, let me write out the equation of the standard equation. Well, my pen isn't working right now. There you go. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared sorry, it's wrong. Y minus k squared equals r squared. Now, you'll see that this equation closely resembles the distance formula, which is square root of x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square is equal to d. In truth, these two are the exact same, except the only thing that is different is that we don't have the square root, and instead all we have to do is square d. Now, the distance formula is basically the Pythagorean theorem. If we have a triangle, we have A, B, and C. A is the distance of this point and this point. B is the distance from this point to this point. And C is the distance from this point to this point. Basically, C is D, this is A, and this is B. Or the other way around, it doesn't really matter. Now the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which matches perfectly with the standard equation. So basically, the distance, the difference of x squared plus the difference in y squared equals is r, which is, in this case, the distance. Now let me show you how to solve it. Let me just erase these real quick. So now that we've found that the standard equation is basically the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem, let's do a visual representation first. Sorry, my iPad's glitching a little bit. There we go. So we have the center is -1, 1 right here, and we have point on the circle 4, 7. Sorry, I don't know why my iPad is lagging right now. There you go. If we draw a triangle here, triangle going this way, triangle here, and here. It's the right triangle. Basically, to find the radius, we have to find the difference in x, make this a little thinner, the difference in y, and that will be r. So let's solve this. The difference between 7 and 1 is 6. So we have 6 squared. Right now we're solving for the radius. 6 squared plus, well, technically we could just work it out right here on the standard form equation. Or no, I'll just do it on here, right here. So the difference between 7 and 1 is 6 squared plus the difference between 4 and -1 is 5. 5 squared is equal to r squared. R squared, there we go. And we see that these two equations are almost identical to each other. So here we have 36 plus 25 is r squared. So that means r is equal to 61 square root of 61. Sorry. Now we have all we need. We have the center and we have the radius. So if we write that out, the equation x, and the x coordinate is -1, so x minus -1, which is plus 1, square plus y minus the y coordinate, which is 1, square, is equal to, if you square root 61, that becomes 61. And now you have successfully found the standard equation of this circle. Now, just to recap our lesson, the standard equation is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. The standard equation is basically the distance formula, or also the Pythagorean theorem. To find the standard equation, we need the center and the radius, and all we need to do is plug those in. To find it, we use to find the distance between 2 points. To find the distance between 2 points, we can use the Pythagorean theorem, and all we need to do is find the difference in x and the difference in y. We square that becomes the square of r, which is, in this case, the radius. And after you plug those units in, you will have successfully found the standard equation of a circle. Thank you for listening. See you next time.